My 29F husband, 40M, spends a lot of time on Second Life and his in-game girlfriend, 30SF. For those who don't know, Second Life is like a kind of simulator game where you can do all sorts of stuff virtually. It's literally like you're living a second life, because you can do everything you can do there in real life, except of course, fly. I've realized he spends a really long time on his computer, so today while I was sitting next to him I decided to take a look. He's been role-playing in this medieval fantasy land, though I'm not sure the name. His avatar looks like himself, except dressed in obviously medieval armor, and he had the title of a knight. I asked him about it and he started going on about his character's history. I'm not a role player myself, so I didn't find it all too interesting, but I know people do. Still, his character had one hell of a backstory and I could tell he'd worked hard and was excited talking to me about it, so I let him explain. He then told me he has a girlfriend in the game. He said it didn't count as cheating though because it's his character's relationship and not his. I disagree, he's controlling his character, so in some way, it's also his relationship. I didn't yell at him straight away about it because I wanted to hear him out, plus I kind of wanted to talk to him like adults and explain what I was thinking rationally. They do not emote anything romantic, from what he's told me, but of course because their characters are together, they sometimes emote cuddling or kissing. This pisses me off and makes me feel really uncomfortable, and I let him know. He says he isn't just about to remove her from his life because they've become reasonably close. What? No, not okay. They've Skyped a few times and talk a lot. He's got a job, but when he isn't working he's at home and 80% of the time, on his PC. He's told me he loves me, and doesn't have any feelings for her, and while I do believe this, I still feel like having such a close relationship with someone online is wrong. I know he values our relationship over his online one, but I just wish it didn't exist. So after we spoke I told him my concerns and how I just felt a bit second place after hearing about his new girlfriend. He told me the following things. They've been together I see for about half a year. They've Skyped a few times, but platonically. He values her friendship but will always put me first, except when I apparently ask him to stop because that's not gonna happen. He sees his character as his child and a completely different person to him, and therefore will not end the relationship unless his character has a reason to. I've learnt from this that my husband clearly takes role play very seriously. I know I'm kind of stuck in an awkward position because I have nothing to do. He isn't going to end his IC relationship, no matter how hard I try. I know he loves me, and I know he puts me first. He does come to me when I ask, and he does spend time with me if I ask for it. I just think he'd much rather prefer the PC. Also, we have a really good romance life and I imagine us to be very in love. Is this as big of a deal as I'm making it out to be? How would you guys react? Too long, didn't read. Husband has a role-play girlfriend, and he won't end the relationship no matter how hard I try. He says he loves me and doesn't feel for her whatsoever, they're just friends. He says he'll always put me first, just he values their characters' relationships because they're important to them. Help me.
Hey guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me out, thanks.
He has no feelings for her, but they are reasonably close enough that he can't cut her from his life. Nope. I would have none of this, and I do game and am into role-playing. As a rule of thumb, you never have an in-game/online, so if you have a real one, it just crosses too many lines. I watched a documentary on Second Life in which both parties left their spouses for each other in real life. Stop and think about what's going on here. Don't be naive. He's choosing his virtual girlfriend over you. Literally. If he put your relationship first, he would stop doing it. Was I, F40s, willfully blind about these iMessages, or is my husband's, M40s, explanation plausible? Together 20 years, married 15, events described occurred almost 5 years ago. I've been thinking about posting this for a while, felt foolish, and opted not to, but another post yesterday made me feel like I should. Though this happened a few years ago, It's been weighing on my mind to various degrees ever since. I'm asking for a sanity check about the situation that I'm about to describe. I've been lurking for a while and trust Redditors to be a thoughtful, fair bunch. I had an iPad, but an Android phone. Husband has an iPhone. We had the same Apple ID, a holdover from when we all just had iPods. Husband's phone was broken and he got a new one at the same time that I headed off on a short business trip. At the airport, I get a text from him saying that he's all set with his new phone. Shortly after, my iPad starts pinging with a conversation between our account and another account with a male name that I don't recognize. The messages continue throughout the day and evening. The other person is obviously a woman and the tone is very flirtatious, teetering on romantic, definitely inappropriate if it's between a married man and a woman not his wife. The next day when there is no slowdown in the messages, I finally text my husband to ask who, contact name, is. It's an old, obscure NHL player, he says. I then describe the messages that I'm seeing. He calls me right away, upset that I'm upset, and swears that it's not him. He says that there must have been an issue with Apple IDs when he got his new phone, he says. He later says that he's talked to Apple and they say that Apple ID mix-ups have been known to happen. I was desperate to believe what he told me, so I did. I deleted the messages, he got a new Apple ID, and life carried on. But, I always had doubts. I didn't push it because I wanted it to all be a mistake and because I didn't want to disbelieve him if he was telling the truth. Yes, I would be the easiest person in the world to lie to. I asked him about it one more time a couple of years ago and again, nope, wasn't him, he said. So here's where I need your help. Is it possible that there were crossed wires and it was some stranger? Or is the answer the obvious one? I'm not sure what, if anything, I'll do about it. I just need to put my mind to rest. Too long, didn't read. Inappropriate messages from our shared iTunes account popped up on my iPad shortly after husband replaced phone. Husband proclaims innocence, says account was hacked/mixed up. How likely is that? Funny that this started happening as soon as you went on a business trip. I don't believe your husband for a second. My 30M wife, 28F, admitted to an affair. I know who the guy is. Should I contact him/his wife? She and I have been together 10 years. The affair went on for 6 months before she broke down and told me out of guilt. I found out in early April. It's now almost July. I had no idea. We have been in therapy since the day after she told me, 2 times a month. Trying to work it out, but who knows. She has been transparent with her phone and emails and everything else since she came clean. I do feel that I can trust her again eventually. Her reasons for the affair were not totally invalid, though it is still poopy to have an affair. She wasn't caught just feeling awful, she wanted me to make the choice to stay or leave. I still don't know. She understands. We aren't angry, I am not vindictive, I don't want to hurt this other guy and his wife because of my own ego, I just feel she has a right to know. However, she is very against meddling in his marriage, but if his wife found out before I did, I would want her to tell me. They have kids, she is apparently blissfully unaware, according to what my wife says. I have searched posts on here and the community seems pretty split on tell them and it's none of your business, stay out of it depending on how close you are. My wife met this guy through work, though they don't work together. I have never met him or his wife in person, though I know exactly who they both are. I have considered having my wife tell him that he needs to come clean or I will do it for him, but there is no way I want her contacting him for any reason, nor do I want him doing damage control before his wife finds out. I worry my wife's motivations to not tell his wife are poor, to save her own reputation, and because she cares about this guy and his feelings. Any input? Too long, didn't read. Wife cheated. I feel like the other guy's wife has a right to know, but I have not met either of them in person. Should I tell her anyway? The fact she wants to protect him sounds like she still has more feelings for him than she does you. I would tell the guy's wife. I would tell my wife if she had an issue with it. She knows where the door is. I would not back down at all. Some people like to take the high road. I am not one of those people. If this happened to me, I'd like to see that motherfucker and everything he loves burn, because he essentially did that to me. It takes two to tango, and there's no reason only one person should bear the consequences of their actions. Your wife wanted to give you the choice whether to stay with her or leave. His wife deserves the same choice. You could save her years of living a lie, and you could potentially save another marriage once he decides to duck someone else's wife again.